Okay, do we need the door closed or are we fine?
I need notes.
Okay, that's my Instagram and my Twitter. If you guys are big on Twitter, I'm kind of a Twitter freak, and so you just tweet me because I like it. Okay, this is me. This is bio, but we're not going to go over it because I don't care about it. Okay.
Awkward expert. That's my favorite.
Awkward expert.
Conveniently not working if you wanted to read it. That's my son Christian.
Oh, the cutest.
That's my daughter Gracie. That's my husband Ben. We're writing a book
Look at those
together.
fleeky socks.
And our deadline is this weekend. So if I feel like I don't know how to talk to you today, it's because I don't know how to talk to people today because I looked at my computer all day. That's a picture of me speaking. That's a picture of some of my products, my book and journals, because I'm a journal freak. Here is a picture of my favorite scene from The Office. Also very important.
Beats Bears. Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah. So I write and I speak and I eat a lot of food, and everything that I'm doing now is because I prayed, not because I sought after what I'm doing. I didn't seek after anything I'm doing. I just prayed, saying, what do you want me to do? And it just unfolded that way. How I keep going, I like that guy. Yeah, he's great. I like him. Okay, so we're just going to go. This is going to be super fast. It's going to be super high level, and we're just going to plow through it because this is actually a slideshow I used at LDSBC this week, and it was an hour-long presentation, and we don't have an hour, so we're just going to go for it because I don't want to make a new one, you know? Okay, this is, everything I do is super spiritual. Everything I do is because of prayer, and any idea that I have that comes from prayer will always trump my marketing background. I went to school for marketing. I do marketing full-time for the church. And prayer and those weird ideas that you're like, that probably shouldn't work out. I always listen to those probably shouldn't work out ideas over my marketing background. Okay, so this is marketing heavy. Just pray to God because he's cool, and that will always trump everything I'm about to say. Great. Never lose sight of your objectives. If you don't know what your objective is as a business or as a person, you are already not doing as well as you could be. Figure out your goal and figure out why you are even doing it to begin with. Me, I love God. I love him. I think he's so cool. And everything I am creating and posting about, even if it's just a stupid Instagram caption, I want it to be evolved somehow to help people know that God is there. So everything that I'm creating, it has to go back to my objective, or else it's not really helping you. Okay. So number one, don't do it if it doesn't get you closer to your goals. There's a lot of really cool things that we can be doing, people to be working towards, but if it's not going to help you, what you ultimately want to be doing, you probably shouldn't be doing it. I could expound, but that just makes sense, right? So just do it. Do you know the phrase oh, you can't do it all? Well, you know what? I feel like we probably could do it all. We probably could do a lot more, but we don't want to. It is not smart. Don't do it all because it's cool or you feel like you have to. Be strategic about it because that is where growth comes from. Okay, so pick and choose and be smart about what you're picking and choosing. What is appealing isn't always right. This is a really hard one. I get a lot of really cool offers to be a part of really cool things, but I found out from a priesthood blessing that cool isn't always right. So this really just comes down to your objectives, and it comes down to your feelings. Do you feel weird about it? Does God, do you pray about it and just feel awkward? Don't do it. This one's really tough for bloggers. I see a lot of my friends who are influencers, they struggle with this. Don't let this be a struggle. If it doesn't match your brand, just don't do it. And I feel like this comes down to a money thing. If you're a blogger and you're a full-time blogger, you don't work full-time, and this is how you make money, it's very easy to just say yes because there's money behind it, right? I can do it and I have these ideas to do it. But remembering that your followers are following you for a reason. They're following you because they like what you're doing. So if they're completely two different things, don't do it. For two reasons. One, you're not going to get the engagement you usually get because it feels weird. It's going to be awkward for them, and they don't love it. Maybe they don't love it, and they probably don't if it's so off topic. And two, maybe it's just the one. You're not going to get what you want out of it. So match with people. I mean, if someone, and as a business, so I reach out to a lot of influencers from my full-time job position, right? Businesses aren't, it's just not smart. If you're a business, don't do this. It's not smart. If your demographic and if your goals, if you want to reach these 40 to 60-year-old male hikers, will they be following, going to my platform? Probably not, because that's not my brand. And that's kind of like an obvious example, but I think you know where I'm going with that. Matching your brand with your company, matching a company with where you want to grow into is good too. Don't do anything that will hurt your image. It's hard for me, and I don't know who everyone here and what you guys are doing. My brand is me. My brand is very much my personal life. It's everything that I'm doing every day with my family. It's my thoughts. It's very much my trials. It's very much what I'm struggling with, and I have an opinion on everything. But I can't share that opinion on my platforms on everything because it will hurt. So if we're thinking back to my objectives, my objective is to help people. Can I use my platform to talk about politics? Because what will that do? It will divide people. What about women in the priesthood? I have an opinion on that. I'm not going to tell people my opinion on that because what will it do? It divides people. And so, can I talk about those things while bringing them all together? Yes, but you have to be strategic about it. How can I talk about these things by not separating and by not, telling people they're wrong or that their feelings are wrong? And it's coming up with a common thread, the common thread of we struggle with this, or talking to people how to turn to God if you have a struggle. That is what brings people together. So if we look for that common thread and not hurt your image that could divide, do that. Know the difference between a trend and a fad. Do we know the difference between a trend and a fad? You should. A trend is something we want to know about. A trend is something we want to follow. A fad is fleeting. It's a waste of time. Don't bother with it. Keep goals visible. That will just help making sure you're making the right decisions. Number 2, I feel like I have a large following. I have really good engagement to match it. That I can talk about. And I feel like I haven't spent a single cent on anything I've ever done. I've never done an ad. I've never put money behind anything. And I truly believe it's because of this. Think like a business, operate as a person. What does that mean? It means be strategic. Put thought and marketing behind everything you're doing. But operate as a person, where people can connect, where people can relate, where we can open up and relate to people on, whatever that is. Don't say yes just because it's a paid collab. We kind of already talked about that. Just do something that makes sense. Do it because you like it. You can always tell a paid ad because of those hashtags you have to use, but you can tell a paid ad that they didn't necessarily want to do, but they did it anyways. Can you just tell the difference between them? Do it because you like it, because even if you're getting paid, and maybe it's a little off-brand, if you're passionate about it, if it's something you really like, you're going to be able to tell that in your caption and in your picture, and it will go better. I unfollow people because it's just like, you know what I mean? I'm just being marketed too much that I'm completely disconnected. It will hurt you. Don't take advantage of followers. Know your following. I speak all the time. It's just like my thing. What people don't know about is I speak at conferences. I'm a marketing freak, right? And one of the conferences was $900. I speak on marketing for free all the time. And I know my following. I know a lot of them don't have $900 to just throw out on this conference, and so I didn't tell people I had it because I felt bad. Another one of knowing your following. I get offered a lot of free stuff, which is great, but as much as I would really love my eyebrows microbladed, and as much as I would really love my fake eyelashes because I would feel so pretty in them, I don't do it because I know my following are youth girls, and I do not want them to think they need that, because they don't. And so I turn down free stuff that I want because I know it will hurt my following in a way I don't want it to. So just be thinking. Just be thinking of how it could affect, if it can, in a bad way. Because just why would we do that? And open up. why we don't talk about our feelings as we're feeling them. I feel like people have a hard time talking about their struggles. But people have an even harder time talking about their struggles while they're still struggling with it. It's one thing to talk about it, be like, and I got through it, and this is how I got through it. It's like, no, I'm struggling right now, and these are the questions I'm having. If we open up during those times, and you always be genuine, your engagement level is going to go through the roof. I can't even begin to tell you. Probably the truest statement. It's just how we are. You know what? I yell at God all the time. I yell at him. I get mad at God all the time because there's lots of things I don't understand. And you know what? You probably too. And that's okay. Like, to think that we don't feel the same is absolutely ludicrous. So if we touch base on those feelings that we all have, that is how we connect. That is how we build a community. That is how we get people to comment because they want to say, thank you, yes, me too. This was a post I did. You don't have to read it. I'm just going to tell you. I did a post a while ago. I was engaged. We had a date in the temple, and he broke it off because he said he can find someone better. And he usually dates really skinny brunettes. I have lots of questions, too. Why we got engaged in the first place? I don't know, but we did, and it was a thing. And I told people about it because it sucked. Because we're talking about not people who had a broken engagement. We're talking about people who feel like they're not good enough. We're talking about people that they feel like they're not skinny enough or they don't fit into this mold. We're talking about heartbreak. We're talking about people who have been really spiritually confused, right? So it's not what happened. It's those feelings you felt that you're talking about. So I posted this. I posted this on Facebook. That got over 4,500 likes, a lot of shares, a lot of comments, more than usual. My average on Facebook is about, I don't know, 1,000 to 2,000 is just average. This is pretty good for not doing any thinking except just posting. What I did is I posted the same exact thing the very next day. I didn't change anything, and guess what happened? I still got really great engagement. Not because I did anything different marketing-wise or that I tried something different. It's because it's resonating. It's because you're getting people who didn't see it the day before, but because it's good. Because you're connecting with people that we, on that level, we can all connect on. This is just another post. My dad, I got baptized. Best friend, closest we could ever imagine. He looked me right in the eye after I got baptized and he says, Al, I don't want you as a daughter anymore. I didn't hear from him for almost over 3 years, right? So this is us last summer. It was the first time he met my husband. It was the first time he met my kids. And we talked to each other almost every day. And so I told people about it. And it resonated. Because we're talking about hard things. We're talking about struggles that everyone goes through. 3, interact. I'm going to go through this really fast. Make it a community. Answer questions, like talk to them. It's not forbidden. Read comments and don't be afraid to make edits. I don't know why people are afraid of that. Don't be afraid. If you see that people are getting confused with a message you have, like they're commenting saying like, wait, do you mean to say this? Or like, how come, you know what I mean? You can edit and make tweaks. It's very smart. People aren't going to freak out. So read to your comments. Make sure people are getting the right message that you want them to get, what message you want them to have. If you don't, make tweaks to make sure they are getting the right message. Give them what they want. They tell you. They truly tell you. They tell you in your Facebook posts that they're posting, I'm struggling with this, or this is how I feel, this is what I went through, or this is a question I have. They tell you with your comments. They tell you in your emails. There's no way I can answer all my emails, but I can pick up on themes. So if I'm getting a lot of emails saying, that's cool, you feel that way, but how do I know that this is God telling me to do this? How do I recognize Him? Or I'm struggling with this, like how can I get through that? I can't respond to every email, but I can create content around them. And those always do really well, because if one person has a question, everyone else will have that same question too, and they're just not telling you about it. So look through your emails, pick up on themes, read your comments, listen to your followers, check and see what people are sharing. When people share your content, see what their post is. A lot of the time with my blogs, they'll pull a quote that I wrote that they really liked. So if I'm noticing all of my shares, they're pulling that same quote, what am I going to do? What's the smart thing to do? Create more content out of that. If they really like this quote, then I'm going to make a meme out of it so they can keep sharing it. You know what I mean? Listen to them. They tell you. Retweet them. I'll go through this every time I speak. Every time I make new content, I go through and I retweet everyone because no one wants to hear someone talk about themselves all the time. So you get other people do it. The good thing about this is maybe she wanted to retweet this. Or maybe she saw this person retweet it and saw that I retweeted it, and maybe she's only doing it because maybe I'll notice her and I'll retweet her too. That's what a lot of it is. But you know what? Now you have all these people marketing for you. And that person up at the top, the only reason why she hit play because she saw it so often, so finally she listened to it, and you know what? She liked it too, so now you're getting even more people. So get other people to talk about yourself when you can. This is the last one we're going to talk about because we're kind of out of time. But this is absolutely 1,000% how I got to where I am, marketing, number, engagement-wise, without spending a single cent. Because if I'm going to content, no matter how humble we are doing it for selfish reasons. We want to learn something. We want to, I don't know, feel better. We're looking for inspiration. We're looking for something that we could apply in some way. If you take a picture of anything, I hope it is this. This is like the secret to marketing. This is it. That. We need to have a bigger purpose. But Al, my brand, I have a boutique. How do I do that? I'm just trying to make money. I'm trying to sell things. Okay, that's fine. But if we go a little bit deeper, and maybe it's not about your dress is on sale. Maybe it's not about the price. Maybe it's about something that you feel really good in. Maybe it's something that hides your stomach because you just had a baby and it makes you feel better, like this dress right here, you know what I mean? Maybe, it just makes you feel, if you go a little bit deeper and, have them feeling a little bit better about something. Maybe it is, everyone wants to save money too, but if you go a little bit deeper than that, if you have that real purpose behind it, it'll just do better. Give them a takeaway. It's not about the product, it's about this experience. I wrote a book. People have good intentions on buying a book, but sometimes they just don't because you just don't. I decided I'm going to do book signings. Even though it's been out for a year and a half, I'm going to do book signings still. I did book signings twice a month for a year straight. And you know what? People came, and people waited in line for 3 hours. Maybe my book's that good, but really it's because of the experience. They wanted to be part of something. We'll just go over this one, and then we'll end. What am I talking about in this? This is just about opening up. I cried because I felt ugly. That's not something I always feel, but it comes, right? It's that all too familiar dance with the adversary that we suck. Like, we look in the mirror and we're like, I hate it. So I talked about it, but it's not just telling people I feel this way. It's turning it around and seeing how you can help someone else that feels this way. A better example, this is the elder that baptized me. It would have been very easy to just say, this is the elder that baptized me. How cool, that I saw him that day, but I didn't. Because if we're truly making it about them, to get your engagement and that community built up, I make it about them. And I talk about people who have served, or I talk about people who are afraid to serve, and I turn it around to you guys. Does it have to be this big, long book every time you post? No. It could be something so simple, but you know what? That's something that someone else can take away from it. And look, something so simple usually does better. You have to have some really committed followers to read books, but they do, and that's great. But if you make it about them, I don't get 19,000 likes, unless Ben's in it. People like Ben more than me. So I'll end with this. I have more slides, but we're going to end with this. What is it that you're passionate about? What is that real reason behind what you're doing? Because if we're not doing what makes us happy, we're missing the point. You know what I mean? If we're not here and we're not doing things that make us happy, if we're not really doing our passion, why not? Why not? It's not about the people you know. It's not about what you went to school for. I failed public speaking in college, and I've won multiple awards for speaking. And it's not because of school. It's because I'm really passionate. Passion will, for a fact, override any lack of skill that you have to truly accomplish the incredible. Listen to your reoccurring thoughts. That's a spirit. That's how he speaks to you. Set goals, say prayers, work hard. It's my motto. I was told it from God in a priesthood blessing, and then I exploited God and I turned it into a journal, so it's fine. You can buy it if you want. Never lose sight of your purpose. That's when we start making bad decisions. That's when we start making decisions that waste our time and our resources, because it doesn't really matter. Do everything with prayer because God knows better than we do, and He's sweet. Embrace the unexpected, knowing who is guiding you. I didn't seek after a single thing I'm doing now, but it's so much better because God's behind it. And He knows He's the coolest guy. You guys just turned in with everything. It's fine, even if you're yelling at Him. And so I'll end with that, and I don't think we have time for questions. Unless you guys have questions.
You can take time for mine. I'd rather hear your questions than myself speak.
So I mean, just kidding. So does anyone have questions? I look like I have my watch on. Sorry this was so fast. I usually do speak that fast. It's just like the New York in me, but I know it was really fast. Or if you guys are like, please sit down, that was terrible, I could also do that too. Okay, yeah.
I just wanted to say thank you. That was really amazing.
Good.
It was great.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for picking Oak Room. Welcome back to the 70s. Okay, well, great. Thanks, guys. Are you plugging in?